Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, we've done a couple of sort of quite good, entertaining videos there. The Scotland's Mammy one, the Greens, the anger of the Greens, and then we've just literally done the silence of the Hamzas because they want the Tories to remain in power. But we've got a video here that, if you're not already angry, you will be. I'm about to make you very angry. It's a subject which we all, I think, have a view on. I believe that what I'm about to say and present to you and put my spin on it will match exactly, I think, your views. Because what is being proposed is astonishing. And it's all to do with politicians. Now, there is a man, his name is Andy McIver. He was a former Tory advisor. And he's suggesting that we need better politicians, something I think we can all agree on. However, he says to attract the better people into politics, we need to look at the remuneration. But I would suggest that better people don't go into politics. Politics is filled with failures. If you're not very good at your job, become a politician and tell other people how to do the job, rather than doing it yourself. Politics is filled with people who are not very good at what they do. Nicola Sturgeon, for example, was a terrible lawyer. But we'll have a look at this, and honestly, it's going to make your head explode. Here goes. Right, now I've left the headline up at the top. I'm going to drop the headline down because I want to prepare you for what they are suggesting. I mean, look at that lot. What have you got there? What a bunch of reprobates. Half of them need to be in jail. Certainly him on the end, Matheson, he needs to go to jail. Shirley Ann Somerville is just plain bonkers. You've got 86 next to Humza. She doesn't look like she knows where she is. She's literally been out on day release from the Sunnyfields farm for the mentally insecure. You got Gray, who's supposedly the energy minister but doesn't deal with energy. Air Miles, surprised you've got a picture of him and he's not on his jet somewhere. You got the Saturday girl. She's been put on the back so it isn't obvious that she's actually hanging off the arm of Humza Yousaf. Gilruth, whatever. Poor kids having to learn in schools run by her. And Constance, what a hell of a thing that she's trying to do. Let everyone who's young off with crimes. Some of them heinous. Anyway, look at this. Read it. Call for MSP's pay to be doubled in a bid to improve quality at Holyrood. Doubled. You reading that right? They want to double their pay. Double. They think that if you double the pay, you'll attract better people. No, you just get more of these people, but they'll be massively overpaid. Scottish politicians already earn salaries that dwarf the average Scot, but former Tory advisor Andy McIver reckons they need to be paid more if we want a better quality of debate. I wouldn't pay these people now. They haven't earned a penny of it. Double. Anyway, a political commentator has said MSPs should be paid more so a better quality of politician is attracted to Holyrood. No, you just get higher paid idiots, that's all. While most voters already think our lawmakers are earning too much, don't we all? Along with their generous expenses system and a multitude of freebies, Andy McIver believes we need to dramatically increase the salary of MSPs and government ministers. No, you need to cut the number of ministers for number one. And secondly, you need to have entry requirements that have a minimum education and IQ standard. That'd get rid of half of the bonkers ones to begin with. Anyone who's an extremist needs to go. Ban the Greens, make them a tourist organisation. I mean, literally get rid of the arseholes out of government, not double their bloody salaries. Anyway, he reckons by doubling it is one of the best ways to get good, experienced, intelligent politicians. Anyone who's good and experienced is good and experienced because they're doing their job. No one who goes straight out of a PPE university and into politics has ever done a day's work. What the hell do they know? I honestly think that no politician should be allowed to stand unless they've done at least 10 years in a proper job. Anyway, the former Tory advisor thinks there's a shortage of quality on the benches. I think we all agree that's not in doubt. Definitely a shortage of quality. Something that was highlighted by the recent budget debates. And writing in the Herald, he said, I know the horror which usually greets such a call as this, the doubling of salary. However, it is, he said, I'm afraid the classic chicken and egg. McIver said the current basic salary for an MSP was not small, but that the reward side of the risk, the reward of being a politician. He said the risk cannot be ignored. The job insecurity, the propulsion of you and your family into public life, the scrutiny in the press and on social media of everything you've ever done in your life, and the hours, often misunderstood by those outside politics, were often debilitatingly long. Well, if the job is so shit, how come so many people want to do it? Seriously. What you should make is say, politicians, no, you do it because you want the job. You get no salaries at all. You get your basic expenses and on your bike. Let's see how many then want to take it up. Eh? You'd still have a queue. You'd still have a queue. If there was zero salary, that you still couldn't get in because these people want power, not money. Anyway, he said politics was not a charitable pursuit for most people. No, they're in it for the money. They're not in it to do good. They're in it for the cash. They're in it for the cachet. They're in it for the power it brings, the influence. They're in it so they can walk into buildings and people admire them. They're all narcissistic fuckers. They really are. Anyway, he said most of the people are theoretically interested in being an MSP, but who already earn a similar salary simply stay in their job, where the reward is the same, but the risk is much lower. They would think twice, though, if the salary of an MSP was, say, doubled to £134,000, and the salary of a minister was doubled from 99 to 198,000, and of the first minister from 165 to 330,000 pounds. Third of a million a year for a man who hates 98% of the population of Scotland. Marvellous, isn't it? McIver also called on the use of open primaries to select candidates, so voters can have a say on who their candidates will be, rather than simply picked by the party. Good idea. That way you can whittle out the mad. He also wants to see more powers invested in local politics, but it is his suggestion of raising MSP's pay that will likely rankle with ordinary Scots. Of course it will. I don't even agree with paying them the money they're getting now. They're that useless. The basic salary for an MSP is $67,000 a year, but many earn far more than that for having additional responsibilities. Taking home the most cash is the leader, who's entitled to an additional $98,000 for being First Minister. So he gets his 67 plus 98. That takes his annual pay to £165,000. That's more than the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom earns. Although the current one is a billionaire, and for him it's foolingly small. But why is the FM of Scotland earning more than the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? That has got to be wrong. He needs to be booted down to something more worthy of his abilities. 27, 30, say 30,000 a year. It's probably all he's worth, isn't it? Good little office job salary, isn't it? His 9 cabinet ministers, all SNP, all take home £50,000. That's on top, of course, of their MSP salary. That means Shona Robertson, Michael Matheson, Jelly Gilruth, Mary McCallan, Neil Gray, Mary Gudgeon, Amos Robinson, and Shirley Ann Somerville and Angela Constance all earn £118,511 plus expenses, bringing it well over the 200,000 mark, about 250,000 for most of them. Sorry, well over the 120,000. I mean, bringing it up to about 150,000 when they're fully expensed. Earning an extra 31,000 for a salary of £99,000 are 18 Scottish government ministers, all MSP unless stated. They are Alina Whitten, Jamie Hebburn, George Adam, Tom Arthur, Joe Fitzpatrick, Jenny Minto, Mary Todd, Natalie Don, Graham Day, Fiona Hislop, Richard Lockhead, Gillian Martin, The Imp, Jeffrey, Christina McKelvey, Emma Roddick, Paul McLennan and Siobhan Brown. All of them on 100,000 a year plus expenses, 120,000 a year. For what? For what? Name one thing any of them have done that has been useful, helpful, efficient, effective. None of them should be paid. None of them. Also picking up additional salary is presiding officer of the Scottish Parliament, Alison Johnson, whose salary of 118,000 is an extra 50,000. Her 2 deputies, Liam MacArthur and Annabelle Ewing, each pick up an extra 31,000. For another one, they're both on 100,000 a year. For doing what? For standing there going, your turn to speak, will you be quiet? They're getting paid 100,000 a year for that. I'll do it for that. I'll do it for half of that. How's that? Savings. Man, I can save you a fortune. Lord Advocate Dorothy Bain KC also picks up an MSP's salary, even though she shouldn't, plus 66,000 on top because she have a day job as a solicitor, effectively solicitor to the government. She earns 134. Solicitor General Ruth Charteris receives MSPs plus 48, meaning she's paid 115. Unbelievable, unbelievable money. Other MSPs just get the basic amount, apart from the dual mandate MSPs, like Scottish Tory leader Douglas Ross, who's also an MP. He only collects £22,500 from Holyrood. Labour MSP Katie Clark is also on a dual mandate salary, as she is a member of the House of Lords, so she only gets paid £22,500 a year as well. That's as much as I'd pay any of them. I think £22,500. There you go. Pay them all £22,500 and get on with it. But I'm right. If you didn't pay them at all, there'd still be a queue from here to Inverness of people trying to become MSPs. Because they want the power. So screw them with the money. Give them less, not more. And let's see how many quit. Not many. Coming up. Double. If they were paid by results, Jeffrey would owe us. Every single thing she's done has failed. By a lot. You know, it's been spectacular failures and very expensive spectacular failures at that. There's not one of them worth their salt, are they? They're all rubbish. Anyway, now that I've suitably angered everybody with a call to double their wages, I'll get back to something a bit more untarnished and unvarnished. The next video is a bit softer, but hey, you know, you just can't get over it. Double their salary, my arse. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. Until next time, dear friends, stay safe, stay well, and hope that you too could one day be a politician. Bye.